Hey, how's it going? How's it going? It's been a little minute, man. It's been a little sick. I got on the trash ass Jaguars hat. They suck this year, but I needed a hat. Shout out to the Ravens, boy. Shout out to Lamar. We're in the new Aquarius era, so you already know, man. It's gonna be a lot of changes. A new Pluto in Aquarius era. It's gonna be a lot of great, substantial, revolutionary God changes. So I'm excited. I'm excited about this whole era. I was talking to my lady today, and she had a very interesting question, uh, and it ties into what's going on right now about how did we get this affinity or this alliance with the British Empire, and why is this important to what's going on today? Because everything that we're facing today goes back to a lot of different stuff that's been happening within the last couple centuries. Right now we're in the middle of the technocratic AI age. So where the technocrats are coming to power. Technocrats are the Silicon Valley types, some bakers as well, but the Silicon Valley types: Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Jeff Bezos, Zuckerberg, Vivek, Bill Gates. You know them, the techno dorks, the geek squad. They've that's now ascending more visibly within the upper echelons of power. They're known as the young wolves. You know, back in the day, you had the Zbigniew Brzezinski's, Henry Kissinger, David Rockefeller. They're all dead. So now you have the new young wolves coming to power right now. You see it uh, showing its hand more vehemently within Trump's administration, which is very ironic right now because in an era that's supposed to be for the masses and against the establishment and all of that. You don't get more establishment than being in line with the ruling class and the billionaire class who wants to create mass austerity and have the masses of the people live as in a dark age peasantry class like how it was in medieval Europe and medieval Britannia. And why is that relevant to right now? Why am I tying all that in? The special relationship with the British Empire and the U.S. Empire. And notice when I said empire, Empire State, Empire State Building, they're talking about Britannia, New York City. That's owned by the Queen. Um, and why is that relevant? Or oh my bad, the King now. Sorry, forgot where he's dead. Oh, she's dead. And King Charles has ascended to the throne. Who's related to Vlad the Impaler. So we're tying all that in. Why is this important? Because much of history has been altered to fit a particular narrative and set a collective amount of people, most people, on a particular view of how things around the world work, how things are working right now, what are some of the parallels to then and now, and how things will go in the future. And why am I bringing this up? Because right now we have a merging of three different sets of powers right now. You have the U.S. technocrat class, the British Empire, and the Chinese Empire, who's now trying to be the new uh, unilateral power or dominant power on the planet. The Brexit situation was about the British trying to link up with the Chinese and create a new British China empire and stabbing the U.S. in the back so they can be the banking house for Chinese imperialism worldwide, or the Sith Lord to the Dark Vader, the new Dark Vader. Um, Same thing's going on with the technocrat class. Really, both ruling classes, but especially the technocrats who are hobnobbing with China, appeasing China. You heard Elon, and you saw what Trump did when he invited Xi, who must be obeyed, to the White House for his inauguration speech and all of that. You're seeing what's going on right now, and the massive deindustrialization of the U.S. to China within the last 50, 60 years. All of this was strategic planning by US ruling class and the British ruling class. And why is this important? Because both ruling classes are one and the same. how will you? And people may look crazy, like, wait, what? Why is this? What are you talking about? Uh, what am I talking about? Simple. The U.S. and Britannia, the ruling classes, are melded together. Now they're separate countries on paper, but in a lot of instances, they come to a lot of consensus. That's why with Brexit and Trump, you had thing, crazy things happening. Now you have things going on with Britannia, King Charles taking the throne, Trump again, the technocrats now, British trying to merge with China, the technocrats trying to merge with China and appease China. So you got a lot of stuff going on right now. And why is that relevant? Because in, how can we say, back in the day when the U.S. and Britannia were mortal enemies, like in the American Revolution, the War of 1812, and then especially during the Civil War, when the British funded the U.S. to be broken up and create the Confederate States of America. Yes, that's right. That it didn't just happen by osmosis. The British were buying and vying for world domination under Lord Palmerston. Between the 1840s up until the 1870s, the British Empire launched a war against Imperial Russia, the Russian Empire. They launched wars against the Ottoman Empire, uh, continued their imperialism and colonization of Africa, even though there was a lot of resistance back and forth, and overthrew every government in Europe, every major government in 1848. So, boom, and installed a dictator on the throne of Mexico that was hostile. So you have all of that, and then you have their project in the U.S., the Confederate States of America, which was a British project. That's why they gave them heavy funding. Go back and look at your history books. What did the British Empire do as far as funding them with weapons, money, armaments, and they had secret agreements behind the scenes and all of that. Scottish Rite Freemasonry, all of that. What's going on? The assassination on Lincoln. So now it puts a broader view. That's why the assassins fled to British Canada. And and they were given safe passage there. Now, if you ain't no enemy, why would you flee to their territory? And why would they allow you there? Boom. And then, then again, it shows its head too during World War II. During the power broking agreements, which will be the post-war world after they defeated Nazi Germany. Remember, World War One, it was about the British Empire finally getting rid of Germany. They had the goal of the second half of the 19th century was to finish off Africa, um, destroy Germany, destroy Russia, destroy the U.S. They got one of it, which was the Africa thing, but with heavy resistance. They weren't able to destroy the U.S. They weren't, even though they killed Lincoln. They did set it on a different course, and instead of them trying to destroy it, they decided to merge. They did a different policy. We'll just blend our society with their society since they want to beat us anyways, and it actually ended up working to a certain extent. Then number two, them trying to destroy Russia, Imperial Russia. They did, but then it turned into something else when it became the Soviet Empire. Then also trying to destroy Germany. Now they eventually destroyed Germany after World War One. So after World War One, they ended up destroying Germany and setting it up. But then they then wanted to then finally destroy the Soviets because the Soviet Empire had the U.S. Russian Empire turned into something else. They wanted to then destroy the Soviet Empire. And so that's why they then built up Hitler, funded Hitler. That's why bringing up peace Hitler. That's why you got heavy funding from the U.S. ruling class and the British ruling class. Lady Astor said and all of that. And the same thing with the U.S. Ford and a lot of them. A lot of heavy hitters, George Bush's family, A lot of the top banking cartels funded Hitler, hell, funded Mussolini too, and had a lot of their major businesses there. Well, what they say, Hugo Boss helped to style them Nazi uniforms and all those car companies and all of that. So you know, they like to tell you all the time that blacks put blacks into slavery, quote unquote. And it was the blacks that they produced the Africans that sold you into slavery. Now did they collaborate? Yeah, those collaborators. But the running of it was always them. Don't ever get that mistaken. That's what they always try to. Can we catch it? Can we spin the game? Can we play the technology? That's why I don't even argue. I just be like, okay, you're gonna either use technology, spin, double talk, or you're just gonna outright lie, or you're gonna be like, as Tariq said, I'm white and I say so, which is funny as shit because it's true. So and then they do one or the other, and I'm like, oh, okay, you lost because you know what I'm saying? Because it's simple. I don't even go back and forth. You just do the same thing. It's the same strategy, just with little different variation talking points or you Trojan horse. You know what I'm saying? So back to what I was talking about. The same way they would say blacks, so blacks in the slavery, or the Africans put you in jeans, or the dumb shit. Uh, Same thing can be said when it comes to the Holocaust. Jews sold Jews into slavery. Some of the same Jewish banking cartels and in Nazi Germany collaborated with the Nazis, with the Holocaust. You know what I'm saying? But they don't ever put that same moniker up. And why is that important? Because we have the same things happening right now. They'll speak about injustice and all of that, but then they'll be racist too. They'll be even more racist. Hell, we even know in a famous book, The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, a lot of the Jews were slave masters, and especially in the South. We found that out, and a lot of them helped to facilitate the betrayal of 1877. Was it Levy helped to do that. So I digress. So and betrayers during the civil rights movement. Once they got the laws they needed passed, they then turned around and tried to stab us in the back. That's where the Martin Luther King spoke on that. X spoke on that. So I don't want them to start lying. I really don't want them to start lying and bullshitting. But back to my main point, which is about the British special relationship with the U.S. and why it's all a farce. So, assassinate Lincoln, World War One, then World War Two comes around, and Hitler flips on everybody. He's like, hey, I'm gonna attack the East. No, I'm gonna attack the West. He made pacts and appeasements with the British first, the appeasing. Then he did the Hitler-Stalin Pact or the Ribbentrop Pact. What is it called? But the Hitler-Stalin Pact, and then he turned and flipped on everybody. He attacked Britannia, then he conquered France, he then went east to Russia, all of that. All of it. And so then everybody had to form like Voltron and stop this guy from taking over. But let's not pretend like anybody was good. That's another thing too. In the U.S., you still had Jim Crow and lynchings and the Holocaust times a million, and which had been going on for centuries, way worse than what even the Jews were facing. Like, let's not. Jim Crow black codes were insane, slavery insane, all type of cannibalism and hell, George Washington taking his slaves, taking his black people who he owned, quote unquote, his teeth and using them as his own. What type of, and hell, Sally Hemings with Thomas Jefferson, him being a pedo and raping her and taking her everywhere and then marrying her. And just, shit is just insane, man. You can't make this shit up. So, it's just, and we'll hear bullshit. We'll hear all the excuses and the spin doctrine and the and all of that. But all I gotta say is, if that was happening to your family, would you be okay with it? Well, if it was happening to your people, would that be okay? Of course not. But you haven't created a narrative and fit a bullshit and then justified it by having these little offshoots to help justify evil. And there's no justification for evil. It's just evil. But I digress. So World War II hits. Hitler decided to turn on everybody who aligned with him and help to fund him, quote unquote. And they were about to appease him. U.S., Russia, one ended up winning the war, and there was going to be agreements between the big three: Churchill, British Empire, which really didn't contribute much. They broke the code, I guess. They broke the code to the Nazis and Japanese, and from what we heard, they tried to hide that shit away so they could have the U.S. stay in war longer and shit like that. But so against the Japanese, um, so the British Empire, Churchill, Soviet Union, Stalin, and the U.S. FDR. They were all coming to agreements on how the post-world war would be. FDR said, we're going to get rid of your empires, Britannia. We're going to have economic development. And we're going to change the way shit is done. Stalin was all for it. He wanted economic development because his country was war-torn. It had seen most of the battles and was in rebel ruin and 20 million dead and all of that. And Churchill was hot. He's like, this is the empire's glory. And FDR was like, them shit's artificial, bro. Y'all stole that shit. And the cracker was hot. Cracker on cracker was hot. But Churchill knew. He was like, damn, I need this pussy ass cracker. Because without the U.S., we would have been done. But Churchill was scheming in the cut. Basically, it was like, all right, yeah, we need the U.S., but do we need you? You know what I'm saying? And do we need your right-hand man, Henry Wallace? So first they coup d'etat Henry Wallace, make sure he got off the Democratic ticket, make sure they install Harry S. Truman. So, go ahead and check your records, guys. There's a movie called what is it? What's the movie? The Real History of True American History, something like that, and it breaks it down. It was on Showtime like 12 years ago with Oliver Stone and Klutznick, whatever his name is, and but it breaks what I'm talking about down with them. And Henry Wallace was co-signing a lot of what George Washington Carver was doing and speaking out against racism and stuff like that, to the extent that they go to. So I don't want to make him no damn saint, but to the extent that they go to. And then, but he was still been better. And he was the one who talked about this is going to be the century for the common man and stuff like that, meaning that you'll have economic rights. Like the everyday person will be what runs the world, basically. And the ruling class had to get both of their ass out there. It was like, oh hell no. So they first started, they started slowly poisoning FDR. That's word to his son, FDR's son, as he saw it. He wrote a book about it. So, y'all could go ahead and read the book if y'all don't believe it. Stalin confirmed everything. So when you hear Stalin, that's not Stalin. That's the Russian intelligence agency that understands what's going on and is trying to counter shit. So we have a situation where they start poisoning FDR, and then at the same time they coup d'etat, meaning they oust Henry Wallace from being the vice president. They install Harry S. Truman as the vice president, who's Ku Klux Klan Harry S. Truman. Remember, I told you the Confederate States of America, then they morph into the Klan. Remember, that's all British Empire run. Remember, you see the ties, you got all that shit tied in. And remember, Pendergast? He's already corrupt, so if he does anything on the line, they could just pull his coattail because he already dirty like them. So they oust Henry Wallace, then they poison FDR, and then Harry S. Truman is installed, and he's run by his whole presidency is run by Henry Stimson, another imperial powerhouse. So y'all go ahead and y'all look up Henry Stimson, Skull and Bones and shit. So boom, there you go. That Freemasonry. So there you go, the British Empire. So there really isn't no secret, no special relationship. The relationship is both. They're basically one and the same. The ruling classes are merged. They're evil. They're part of the same demonic family, and so that's why you'll get to see the royal wedding on TV, even though we're supposed to be anti royalty and status, and we're supposed to be for revolution and democracy and the people, and the stuff that is supposed to be. But why it's not like that is the ruling class and the a clockwork group, which is white people and other white adjacent people, immigrants, black coons, sellouts, those who are of classism, bouleism, who help to maintain this power dynamic. And that's a lot. It's a lot to understand. And now we get to today's era right now with Trump, with Vivek, with the techno dorks, with MAGA, with the black FBA groups, with the Hispanics, with the Indians coming in. We get not with the Chinese trying to come to power, with the Russian Empire, with Africa. We're now in a how can we say we're in a multipolar world with the U.S. still at the head honcho, with China on its heels, quote unquote. And what you're seeing right now, what they're trying to do is Trump and them, they're trying to, as they always have done, the billionaire class, and the ruling class, trying to further destroy the economic foundation of most of America's bedrock. That's why you see them, they're trying to do these super tax breaks by destroying the social safety net, by lowering wages, by lowering this cutting food stamps, cutting social security, cutting disability, cutting Medicare, cutting Medicaid, the stuff that the people want and earned. Do the New Deal, do the FDR, LBJ and FDR, Great Society, and all of that. Those things people want, plus more, like right to a house, right to a car, right to a job, right to a universal income, like all of that, and then some, which would have been already done, which FDR was proposing with the Economic Bill of Rights. Y'all go look that up too. So, and that would have happened. Well, of course, like I told you before, the empire struck back. So, so now you have a situation right now where the rank and file, stupid, traditional right wing racist white people, as George Wallace said, they would rather see a nigga have nothing than them have $2. They'd rather be in squalor, but the nigga be in the grave. It's just stupido. So they fell for a billionaire who is a billionaire who has always had his money from the banking cartels and now is trying to link up with the young wolves right now. And there's something called in Nazi Germany, which is parallel to where we're at right now, because it was like a dream, the same dream state that helped for Trump to get into power, also helped Hitler to get into power. There's something called the Night of the Long Knives, when Hitler had to make a choice. Will I stand by my rank and file base who got me into this position? Same thing with chopping with Chuck. Can I stand by my mega base, or will I then stab them in the back and join up with the aristocratic class, aka the technocrats of now, to consolidate power and further my ambition and further my megalomaniac agenda? You see what's going on right now. Vivek and Elon are not going to get rid of immigrants for real. Not in mass, not the way you're thinking of it. They're going to deport this class to bring in a whole different class that you have to deal with. And then further destroy both the regular regular whites who thought they would get a bump up, and the blacks will. So the American working class, by bringing in a foreign class to offset wages and further keep things down. And then on top of that, they will then add in robots. Remember, India is British India. Oh no, the British Empire comes back full circle again, huh, guys? Remember, after India's thing, all they did was just transfer the power on site to an elite few, but they still maintain power abroad. They did stuff like break it up in Bangladesh and Pakistan and stuff like that, but they still ended up maintaining power. You know what I'm saying? They still ended up maintaining rule through a different flow. And now India is the number one population in the world. It surpassed China because China had that stupid British eugenics policy of one child per family, throwing out the girls and all that other dumb shit. So, and that depopulation, Malthusian bullshit, you know, the same Bill Gates shit that he's on now. You know, it just goes intergenerationally with the whole. That's what I'm saying. It's just like Star Wars, like the Sith Lord. They continue Dark Moth and Dark Woodum and all that other dumb shit. It just continues, and since they're undisturbed, nobody even knows there's a ruling class. Number one that runs the world. Then number two, so you don't even know who you gotta go after. And number two, they have nothing else to do because they have all the wealth. They're in charge of everything. So while you're thinking about money in terms of the wage structure, they run the ladder. So anytime they're getting low, Federal Reserve, yeah, 8 trillion. You saw what happened there, and it's bipartisan. So while you're like, look, not Trump. Trump gave the sold out to the banking cartels too. Remember, during the COVID, they got bailed out and they got Federal Reserve money, and then what were the great people pleasing, rank and file for the people guy? Obama gave bailouts and quantitative easing 1, 2, and 3. He continued Bush's bailouts and then enhanced that bitch. So not Biden, please. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, like I was saying, you're living in their realm, and so they just continue it because you don't know they exist. You don't know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They just get to continue to move. And so now we're on a new wave of ruling class people, which is the young wolves, the Peter Thiel, the technocrats, and also too China, the whole totalitarian state, Xi and the Prince Leagues and all of that. So you got that coming into hand. Don't forget about the British Empire with the kings and the aristocrat sets and all of that. And and so these are the ruling classes that in a lot of instances come together on a lot of shit. Bill Gates and them. Number one, they are against people. They want total control. They want deindustrialization, which they've been doing. They want your standard of living to be at shit, to be back to peasantry, to be back to feudalism. See how I'm tied in the British Empire? Look how that all forms. And they've done it so ingeniously. They have a way of making it seem like you're moving forward when you're going backwards. Oh, look, I have the iPhone 8 Giga God. I have the iPhone 3 billion. Oh, whoa, look how advanced we are technologically. By the way, here goes your mini chicken nugget for $18. We're moving ahead. See, they have mastered the art of giving you something to take something more valuable away. They're taking away the food. They're taking away the water. They're taking away the standard of living, the house, the way you live, rent. Rent is skyrocketing. Your standard of living is going up. Your wages have stagnated. At the same time as they're showing you how great AI and robots are. And they're trying to, and this whole CEO bullshit that you just saw, the CEOs got killed. So that means the humans are bad. We need robots to replace humans in the workforce because humans are in danger. Boom. Gotcha. Time to introduce the technocrats into the hive view and trying to go transhumanism. What is human? You know what I'm saying? That I'm annoyed because these stupid games keep happening, and everybody on both sides, whether it be the FBA, blacks, and the mega right wingers, are too stupid to fucking understand and to go at who is doing shit. Over here, Trump. We had FBA people, and I'm FBA. We had the whole movement, the whole thing around Tariq, the Umar, the whole set going and I'm finna move for Trump like idiots. Y'all didn't need to vote for nobody. Y'all needed to build up your own party. Fuck the Democrats. We already know they're the fox. But you gonna run to the wolf? Why are you being a sheep? Time to be the shepherd and knock both wolves' heads off. And you become what then turns the sheep into more shepherds. So then all that's left is shepherds. All it is gods. Nobody else needs to be a victim anymore. We don't need to be playing this game of victimizer and victimy. Like, that's not the only thing that's left. There's a third option, guys. There's the protector. There's the God. That's the option. You don't have to be a willing participant in evil where you're being subjugated to evil. You don't have to willingly be a participant in being the actor at being evil. There's another level. There's another place to go. And it's time to get there. And we're in the middle of a timeline split. And we're in the middle of the age of Aquarius. The Pluto returns. It's time. It's the era of revolution is here now. It's time for us to create a new revolutionary era. And not just here, but all around the world. To give the world its true and final humanity against the robot age, against the age of evil, against this new dark age that's being masqueraded as advancement and technological wonder and shit. And I'm not against technology, but technology should be a tool, not a means of replacing humanity. It should be a tool working in harmony with humanity, balance with nature, as God intended, not this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? With these losers at the top of the heap. That's the problem, bro. We got these damn duck ass techno dorks. And then before that, the punk ass ruling class with the Zbigniew Brzezinskis and David Rockefellers and the Queen. What was it? Queen Elizabeth and Henry Kissinger and who else? Who else? All these other fuckboys, Henry Stimson and all these other little dorks. George Soros right now and them. Koch brothers and the Bill Gates and his daddy and the Planned Parenthood and the Club of Rome and the Club of Growth and just all of these, the Bilderberg Group and the Mount Pelerin Society and just all of these apparatuses of control that just need to be gone and replaced with a meiotic world of justice, not chaos and anarchy, not nothing, but replaced with God's world, heaven on earth. And to those who are gonna be pessimistic and get up and all that, shut up. Go in a corner and be a statistic, so the ruling class can get your punk ass, either by you eating their food or whatever. But for those who know that there's a better out there, for those who know that there is more, and come join this. It's time for us to fight, stand up for what's right. Cause we go be all right. I just ended up rhyming, but yeah, but I just feel it, man. I just feel it's our time right now, man. For the substance people, it's our time, man. You see what's happening. You see how the rap era changed. See, there was a pacifist, and not pacifist in the way of not fighting, but a pacifier, pacifying the masses of the people. And that was Drake. He was dumbing down the music. He allowed the music to get the way it was. It was under his rulership. He was the king of the rap game. Everybody followed his dictate. That allowed the slut porn rap to come out. He allowed that in the inverted female, because he's inverted. He's an inverted male. He's a feminized. You know what I'm saying? And the righteous king came in and slayed the dragon. No, it's Drake, dragon, devil. And then K-Dot, God. You know what I'm saying? Slaying it right now. And so this is, music is a window to the soul. So you're seeing a revolutionary spirit in the masses of the people, and they, whether they know it or not, it's coming, boy. Whether, you know what I'm saying? That heaven on earth is here. It's coming, and everything's getting lined up. The stage is being set, and it's a great era, boy. I did from the front, boy. It's a good era, boy. It's a good era to get into the history books, boy. It's a good era. That's what I'm saying. They're gonna be singing our name for all time. They're gonna be talking about us as being the ones that defeated evil and set this world on a new path of righteousness, of goodness, of mayats, of justice, of truth, of honor, of just the highest highs, just what it should have been, the highest frequencies. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it was meant to be all along. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm excited. And and we just need to start making more proactive moves, taking over politically, taking over socially, and if they want to fight, taking over militarily, taking over economically, taking over in intellect, taking over when it comes to the internet, the technology, when it comes to the education system, what you're learning, truth, taking over the media sphere, everything, every apparatus of reality, taking over and replacing evil and decadence with goodness and substance and truth and high frequency. And that includes the music, as you can see. So, and everybody who's opposed to it, okay, the universe already got y'all. Like, could you say half of y'all that be hell might need hell? For real. Real shit. Bye. You know what I'm saying? You'll be, as Umar said, you'll be going, for good! But yeah, man, I'm gonna sign off, man. Uh, yeah, it was good. And, you know, me talking about Vivek and all of them and the techno dorks, y'all fell for the trap. Trump is a snake. Trump and Vivek, they're all snakes. Remember, Trump is a Gemini. He's a snake. Geminis have both positive and negative, and there's good. Just like there's a high vibe Gemini, there's a low vibe Gemini. Kendrick represents the high vibe Gemini. You know, Trump represents a low vibe Gemini, and you're seeing it. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing it on full display. He hobnobbing with Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a foreigner. You know what I'm saying? Vivek is a foreigner, but he's hobnobbing with them. JD Vance's wife is an Indian. He's foreign. I don't know why y'all thought something else. You know what I'm saying? Especially for us, the revolutionary side, black, progressive black people, conscious black people, substance black people. Why y'all decided to appease? I know why y'all decided to do that. Let's be honest. Y'all was scared. Y'all scared. Let's be real. Y'all are scared. So you want to run it behind and think you can kiss your master's ass and somehow he'll be less cruel to you. You don't give a fuck. Did y'all not learn that in slavery? You kissing your master's ass and all that? Yeah, I like the way you beg, boy. You ain't watch Django? That won't stop it. He still gave his wife them lashes, begging, pleading like a little bitch. Only when you stand up like a man, stand up like a god, will you then get the respect you deserve. You bowing and begging and scraping, it's only gonna get you more evil because you're accepting evil by doing that. When you bow down to evil, that's begetting more evil. When you stand up to evil, that begets more good. And that's what era we in right now. We're in the era of balls, of substance, of goodness. That's why K-Dot slaying the dragon. Drake represented evil. The music that's out is evil. What the fuck? The mumble rap shit where it's not of any substance, where it's trash, where it's not good. That's a form of evil. The females slutting themselves out, talking about shooting niggas and setting them up and stealing that shit. That's evil. What else? Everything. Them coming in other groups coming in to colonize the rap game, Africans talking and Latins being colonizers and whites colonizing and lying and doing all that. That's evil. Kendrick coming in, substance, FBA's putting out that documentary against them trying to colonize. That's good. That's goodness. That's godliness. And that's where we at right now. Either you're on the God side or you're on the evil side. And we don't give a, like what Cat Williams said, we don't give a fuck about evil. Fuck evil. I'm with God. And that's where I stand at. And God not meaning no damn punk ass Christian shit. Tell you bow down. That's evil too. When you bow down to goodness, let me turn your cheek to evil. You're accepting evil by doing that. It's only good when you fight. When you stand up for what's right. And I'm gonna leave it like that, man. And that's when we going into 2025 and beyond. This next 20 years is going to change the planet. What you want to be? What side you want to be on? You want to be on the side that where you get your ass genocide, you don't do a wood chipper, or they got a new techno way of killing you, or you want to stand up on the good side? You want to be in the 20 years from now. We live in a society of justice, of Mayat, where reparations is paid, where the genocide campaign is ended, where the ruling class is defeated, where white supremacy is defeated, where evil itself is defeated, and a new heaven on earth is in place, or where Chinese domination is defeated, or East Indian domination is defeated, or African slave mindset, Ekada, you suck, FBA, that mindset is defeated. We're the Latinos, we're Latinx, you suck, you Marine, Morato, Viva la Raza, and all that, that's defeated too. A Russian dominate, every form of evil is defeated, and finally justice is prevailed. What side you want to be on? What history do you want to write? I'm writing that history, and it's time to ride on that. It's time to get back in that Khalid Muhammad energy. It's time to get back on that Montgomery Brawl energy. It's time to get back on that George Floyd unity energy, being on code, substance energy. It's time to be fighting for reparations again. I don't hear the reparations talk. I don't hear the nationhood talk as taking over talk. It's time to take over. You saw what Beyonce did. She taking over country. You saw what Kendrick did. He taking over music itself. It's time to replicate that in our reality now. It's takeover time. Let's go. Sorry, I'm hyped right now. But yeah, like, share, subscribe, and y'all go check out my videos, man. Thank you for having me.